Yo, what is up, you guys? I'm DeAndre.
I'm Javante.
And this is Dre and Jay here today to share our quick thoughts on Moon Knight Episode 2. Marvel Studios' Moon Knight on Disney+. You're
a week late, brother.
We are a week late, yes. I blame you mostly. But yeah, share some of our thoughts on the second episode. For me, I definitely... Because I remember I said this last week. I got to see Episode 2. I got to see if the show improves. This was definitely a step up from the first episode. There was some action that I actually enjoyed. And I'll talk about, especially, the whole Jackal scene. The Jackal chase scene. I thought that was a really cool sequence, how it was shot. Visually, how he was moving, jumping across the roof and everything. I thought that was such a cool and dope chase sequence. Oscar Isaac, again, shout out to him. I think he's doing an amazing job in this role. You can definitely get that vibe that he's playing two separate people. So I liked it. I like this episode. There are a lot of people who don't approve of the Dr. Knight thing.
Mr.
Knight, yes, my fault. Mr. Knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I wish he was a bit more serious, especially if I'm going to see him for the first time. But, maybe that's a thing, the fact that it is his first time on screen. And it was Stephen Grant, having that persona. Hopefully it's someone else who takes up that Mr. Knight persona in the future. So we'll see. But
I personally have no problem with him being clumsy, not knowing anything. It's Steven. It's not Mark. Like Mark, that's why he said he's like, oh, that's a suit. That ain't the suit you're supposed to have. But it's Steven. He don't know no better. So even when he gets that, I like the scene because even when he punches him, he's all happy. Like Mark's like, oh, that's a good point. That was nice. That's good job. And he starts getting his ass whipped again, and it goes back to he has to basically I think Steven could have hung in there, but he could have got other people hurt. You know what I mean? Because all the people were around us like that. Yeah. But I don't mind Steven having a moment where he's because that ain't who he is. He's having out of body experience for him. It's oh shit.
I don't know. I just watched that because they said they didn't want him to be rich in the first place.
Be all Batman
because it would be Batman. But then you kind of made him like Deadpool in that scene in a way, the way he was talking.
Not really, because Deadpool is funny and stuff but there's because Deadpool's sarcastic and he actually can what he's doing. He's just sarcastic.
Yeah.
Steven was actually really first time trying to suit on. What the fuck is going on?
Well, there are some people who are saying Deadpool. I was thinking more of Jim Carrey from The Mask. That's the vibe I got from how the way he was acting.
He wasn't really acting crazy. He was. Anybody else who gets a new. He got powers.
Put him there.
He got powers. It's Steve. He's also. He's lonely, clumsy. He's not very what's the word? Lonely for sure. He's not very charismatic usually. He's very just in the back in the shadows. So I think that was finally his first moment being oh shit, this is kind of cool. I'm the focal point. The girl, I'm saving the girl and stuff like that. He's saving the wife and everything. So I had no problem with the Mr. Knight thing. I thought the Mr. Knight mask, they still look cool. I know from the posters oh shit, I wonder when this is gonna come. It's gonna be tight when it comes out.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we're gonna see it again. We might see the last episode or something like that.
Maybe. Seeing him actually go into the Mr. Knight, or not Mr. The Moon Knight suit, that was dope. I mean, obviously it looked dope when you saw it in the trailer, but seeing it actually full scene was amazing. Loved it. Also Ethan Hawke, his character. You get more kind of understanding on his character, what his views are. Mm-hmm. And to find out that he was actually a person who had Khonshu, possess him.
That was pretty cool.
I thought that was really cool too.
Also, one thing that they do very well in Marvel is they have a lot of the characters have their own they listen and then they have their own interpretation. They I'm trying to explain. I'm not trying to confuse anybody. They listen, but then they also have their own mind. But that doesn't make no sense. And I liked how everything Ethan Hawke was saying was oh, this sounds so great. It sounds so perfect, a perfect world. And then he's talking about how, what about kids? You're going to kill kids? And Steven's kind of I don't agree with that. He kind of challenges him in a way. And it's makes sense damn, low key. Even he mentions he's I want to kill my boss sometimes. I just kind of had an evil thought on me. I'm an evil person. Which is cool because shows the character like really like thinking about everything, like really taking everything in that's being said, and like, yeah, that sounds good, but what about this? What about that?
Having that interpersonal conflict within himself.
Yeah, exactly. I think they do a good job with that. And that was great to see. I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, of course, it sounds perfect, but then you see like, yeah, like kids. You make a good point. I don't gotta go too much what you said. Also, I like the Mark Steven thing. I like how they explained it more this episode. How they explain how like Mark, whoever like Steven's or whoever's controlling the body has become more powerful because I guess Steven's more aware of what's going on now. So like whoever has the body pretty much is running things. And I like how he explains to Steven like, oh, you'll be all right in there. It's small, but you'll be all right. And like I just enjoyed that whole explanation, that whole like ideal right there between that, and then also like seeing Mark basically or your boy Khonshu basically telling Mark like, hey, I'll take her if you want to do it. It's kind of like some Star Wars thing, like when Darth Vader tells Luke like, if you won't join, I'll have Leia. I'll get your sister. You know what I mean? I know you have a sister. It's kind of the same thing he did with his wife. Yeah. In a way, using him to like make him join him and keep on working for him.
It kind of shows like Khonshu, like how he's kind of sinister in a way too. Like he has sinister.
He has his own ideals. Yeah.
Motives or ideals.
Exactly. Yeah. So exactly.
And even one thing I actually noticed, Ethan Hawke, when his character summoned the jackal. You notice how like the thing was purple. I wonder if that's like a connection with like, because how like
I know people say home. Yeah. I know some people. I know there's a channel that actually they talk about like how they think all the power, like the colors, like colors of things, kind of tie together, like how Eternals ties in with like Captain Marvel, like other stuff like that, because the color scheme and stuff like that. So I get what people could say about that, and it might be a case. I don't know. I mean,
multiverse.
They still haven't connected anything to the current MC, which is cool.
They don't need to right now.
No, I don't need to right now. I also liked. I'm trying to think what else I liked in the show. The ending was interesting. With the whole being in Egypt now, and I'm wondering. I know some people question that even Mark. I think it might be another personality, but I think it's going to be Mark.
He does have another personality.
I don't think they're going to touch on 3. I think they'll probably stick with 2 though.
Yeah.
Or if they add 3, it might be like later on in the season. Maybe season 2 or something like that.
I don't know. Honestly, with the way the show is, it's like, is it going to end where Mark and Steven kind of have like Venom? You know how like they have that partnering kind of role where like they both are equal. They both see themselves as equals now, or will it be something where like Mark fully takes over and it's Mark Spector?
I think it'll be like Steve. I think Steven will be a part of it. I think Steven will never be like equal to what Mark is, just because the personalities and like what they experience. And, like Mark is an assassin. Like he's different. Like Venom, I think they need each other to survive and everything. I think honestly, it's more like Steven needs Mark to survive. In all honesty, it's not like like Tom Hardy needed Venom. But I can see them working. I can see it like more like understanding, not a partnership, but more of an understanding. Like, hey, I understand we have to do these things. 'Cause I know, like, he questions. He's like, you were killing people. Like, what were you doing? You have a gun. You had the gun. It's like you've been murdering people, and all of a sudden I've seen the blood and stuff like that. So I think they're going to eventually reach a point where they reach a dynamic where there's an understanding of why Mark does what he does, and I think Steven's going to be more open to letting Mark have those moments to take over and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you mentioned Egypt. Can we just take a moment to praise Hollywood nowadays, where they go to a damn foreign country and the screen's not orange and shit. The lighting isn't all orange like
technology.
Michael Bay, for example, not calling out directors.
Technology and money, brother.
But Michael Bay.
Technology and money. But yeah, it looked good.
It's not even technology and money, my guy. It's literally just.
Not because they got that
but it's like the way people stereotype like foreign countries. Like they always shot it like, oh, we're gonna shoot it like with orange filter.
Yeah, no, for sure.
When they could have just shot it like.
No, I said money and time. Like time has went on. People understand more like cultural stuff and stuff like that. And I think time and money, especially because I think they do. Don't they do? I don't know if they do Moon Knight like they do Mandalorian, where they do it inside the that thing. But
yeah,
overall it looked good though. I'm not gonna lie, I agree. It looked good. One more thing I want to touch on was just a question in general, but I'm sure we'll find out later on. I wonder, was Mark dead or something like that? Like, or Steven, were they like.
When Khonshu possessed him?
Yeah, like I'm wondering, like, was Mark a separate entity in himself?
That's when he was talking about, like, when I found you.
Or was Steven, like, dead? Or, I don't know. I'm just curious to see where they're going to go. I'm sure they're going to explain it down the road. I was just curious about that.
I do hope that they do an episode, or maybe a part of an episode where they show the origins
of 4 more episodes left? We're almost done, right?
Yeah, 4 more episodes. So I hope they do an episode where, like, they explore the backstory of how Khonshu got it with Steven or Mark.
Yeah, I would do that. Yeah, you could do that probably next episode, honestly, because you already, But I'm curious to see. I think next episode is going to be something completely different. I think Not to run not that much time. I think we're gonna see way more Mark, and I think the aggressiveness and the more like action pack that everybody wants to see with Moon Knight. I think we're gonna see more of that because we have Mark. It seems like we're gonna have Mark leading the way in this next episode.
Okay, that was also going to be my next point. Something I didn't. Well, I'm not gonna say I didn't like. Still gotta see, because I said this last episode. I gotta see more of it. I gotta see the brutality of Moon Knight, of the character.
I think you're.
I gotta see, because this is something where I watched Daredevil. I'm not saying it has to be Daredevil level, but it has to meet somewhere. There's a gray area where it has to meet.
I mean, but I don't know, because he's not. You ever see him doing it? He's fought like demonic creatures. He hasn't like fought like a human. He's been fighting demonic creatures. That's
what I'm saying. I hope I see down the road, down the line.
I mean, I think the show has done a good job being a little bit darker than what we're used to when it comes to the MCU and Marvel. Like it's definitely taking a darker tone than what we're used to.
Has it?
Yeah, I feel like the whole outlook of the show has been kind of dark. I feel like it's more of a, the character himself has a lot more issues and stuff like that. Like he's a murderer, or we don't know if Mark seems like he's a murderer or something like that, or assassin or something like that. So I mean, I feel like this show's done their part in trying to make it a little bit darker. Yeah. I think they still, of course, want to keep their core audience of having like the fact they can have kids and adults watch it, and I don't think that's ever going to change. I think people have to realize, like, I know they're saying, oh, we all have grown. I know the MCU has to mature, which I think it has matured. But I think they're also going to want to keep their core audience because they realize,
hey, for the sake of some characters, fuck them kids.
But that's not that's not how you work, though, bro. Like, think about it, the thing that Stan Lee created, or like I understand, like Stan Lee created was for everybody to be able to enjoy this. Like,
so hold on. When Stan Lee created the Punisher, did he think, you know what, kids are going to enjoy this?
No, I'm not saying that everything's for everybody. I'm not saying everything's for everybody. But I'm saying when you're connecting everything to one universe, you have that problem where you have to like.
But that's why I'm always saying, like, if you're gonna do separate story, yeah, sure. If I'm bringing Moon Knight into a larger scale, like if I'm bringing,
that's what you're doing.
If I'm bringing, like, let's say if I made a Spider-Man movie with Moon Knight, then I'm gonna make that where it's for everybody. But at the end of the day, if I'm doing a solo Moon Knight story, I'm gonna strictly.
But I think you'll still have problems because you'll have people look at, not to cut you off, you'll have people look at that and say, this ain't the character I like. Like how you talk about you don't like Kingpin because Daredevil Kingpin is different than Kingpin from Hawkeye. That's the same thing what you're saying, because they took a character and they dumbed him down to make him fit the MCU, and you didn't like it. So I'm saying is there are going to be people out there that are still not going to like that either and say, this ain't the Moon Knight I watched in the show. So either that's not going to work. That's why I say you have to find a natural balance in between. That's what their problem's going. That's what it's going to come down to. But overall, I think they've Marvel's going to do Marvel, man. And this is a character. I'm not going to lie. I don't know that much about Marvel like that. Not that crazy. Like amounts like I'm like comic lore and everything like that. But this is a character I didn't really know much about like that. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, but I'm very intrigued and interested. And I've enjoyed the character so far. It made me want to do more research on the character. So shout out to Marvel for making this character cool, and I'm sure a lot of people are gonna go out there and really like this character.
The character was always cool.
Well, I'm talking about for people that didn't know about like me. I didn't know about the character like that. I know there's a lot of people out there that didn't know about the character until watching this show.
Shit, I knew about the character. I played that Marvel.
Name me all the personalities.
I played that Marvel.
No, but I'm talking about
Ultimate Alliance.
I wasn't choosing Moon Knight on Ultimate Alliance. I ain't gonna lie.
I was choosing Moon Knight. He had that nice combo.
I was sticking to my guy. I wasn't choosing Black Panther and them boys like that. I was sticking to my main fours, like Wolverine and them. But my point is like people that aren't really into like
stiff.
The people that aren't really in the comic lore, like like are heavy into. I think this show does a good job of like interesting them and getting them to be a part of this. So and wanting more about this character. So that's good, because this is the first character we're getting that's a new character in general. Like everything else we've had before has been, Adams.
And to go back real quick to Ethan Hawke's character, Arthur Harrow, I like how they're kind of giving his villain that kind of treatment where he kind of has good intentions in a way. Like he seems like this.
He's an extremist in a way.
He's extremist, yeah. Like he's for the people. Because you see how he's conversating now. He was
it's like a cult. It's a cult leader. It's like he's for the people, but also he likes to have the control and be able it's either his way or the highway. He killed that old man.
He did.
That homeless man. So it's like a cult. Everyone just follows like sheep.
But you saw when the ball came to him and he was playing around.
Yeah. I'm saying he gives up. That's what I'm saying. It's like a cult though. You got the even what's his name? The famous one.
Charles Manson.
Charles Manson. If you were watching the little movies, the documentaries, he was nice. Like people liked him. He was cool. He was fun. And then eventually gets you in. That's what I'm saying. Like same thing. Which it's an interesting way to do it. And it's cool. It's working for the Ethan Hawke character. I'm enjoying it.
I like it. But yeah, that's all. You got anything else?
No, I'm good, man. Yeah. I'm pretty good.
I
got most of the points. Got most of the points across.
I enjoy it.
Just say one more thing. I'm glad. I'm interested in Mark's wife. So I like that dynamic with her and Steven. That was kind of funny at times, but I like the dynamic between those two. Like him really not knowing who she was and stuff. Beautiful woman, by the way. Also a very beautiful woman. Curious to see her in more of these in more episodes down the road.
That brother's dog. No, I'm kidding.
I like you.
Yeah.
I know you usually saying some wild shit.
Shit, I do. Off camera.
Yeah, off camera.
But yeah, let us know your thoughts on Moon Knight episode 2. Let us know down below in the comment section. If you like this review, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and feel free to share. All right, guys, I'm DeAndre.
I'm Javonta.
And this is Dre and Jay. Deuces.